All right, howdy. I'm back for the first time with some art. We're not playing games this afternoon. So, in honor of Inktober, which I've always wanted to do, but I don't even know if I'm going to be doing it this year. I mean, the deal is like you're doing an inked piece every day, and that's a big commitment, but I'm going to do my best. Let's put on some license-free music and get to it. It's a little loud, sorry. Oh, there we go. License-free jazz. Nothing radical about this one probably, but best we can do. So, today's prompt is dream. So, I was just thinking on it, and the title of Philip K. Dick's story popped in my head, right? Do androids dream of electric sheep? So, we got an android here dreaming of electric sheep. So I haven't really done much inking, period. Let me turn that down a little bit more for myself. There we go. And I haven't done that in a while, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know. I think maybe start with some hair. This is maybe a good place to warm up. In fact, I should probably move. Sorry, getting situated here. Let's see. You're gonna go there. You're gonna go over here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Maybe like right over here. Start off. So usually with this brush, there's a bit of warm-up involved. Kind of have to let like the ink sort of seep in, you know, get your bristles right. So some place like this with a lot of like wiggle room for air, you know, I feel like that's a good place to maybe start off. So there's a weird angle on the camera here, so we do have like, it's not so, I mean, it's out of proportion, sure, because my drawing skills are like not great, but the disproportion is maybe a little more pronounced around the forehead than in actuality. Excuses. Getting sloppy. Okay, wait. Simmer down. I'm actually on these outermost, we want to bold it up, right? On the exterior contours. Give a bit of definition out there. Some of these tracks are pretty nice, surprisingly. I didn't know what to expect from a license-free jazz playlist, but right kind of vibes on that last one. More blotted there when I wanted to. These things happen, especially when you're just rushing along a little bit. Done it again. That's what I get. I know better. There's no rush in the brush. Don't rush the brush. She's fickle. Needs to be treated with care at all times. What are we doing here? I don't know. Bold thing going here on the exterior contour. Getting closer to mechanical time. That's where it's going to get tricky. We can't just like brush around and shrug it off as hair. We're going to have some stuff with precise lines. I'm not so good at that. I'm not so good at the things that take, what's that word? Skill? Yeah. What we're going to do our best. Okay, some of these tracks are just the wrong vibe. Not necessarily bad, just man, I could go for like a Aphex Twin, ambient works. Oh man, that's what we need here. Is there like a I wonder. Let's look at some of our other options here. Or maybe just skip this one. I'm not feeling it. What else do we have on this license-free situation? Synthwave, I wonder. Should we try it? Let's try it. We can always come back to jazz. Let's see what this is like. This might be the play. It's a little more thematically appropriate, right? Bumped out a little too far here on the back of the head. And we got like a, yeah, I think it's a mistake to come out this far. It's not really keeping in line with the direction we were going. Make it work. I'm gonna put a happy little bush there, and no one's gonna even know. Okay. And as for where we go next, we just keep coming over this way. I'm gonna have to watch it though. This isn't quite dry. I don't want to drag my hand through it, so let's maybe come up from the bottom here. Or I wonder, maybe come towards myself, because we're gonna want to get bigger as we go. But I have more control going this way. All right, that's what we'll do. Oh no. Got a stray hair. Oh. Stray bristle. Beautiful thing about the calligraphy brush, right? You can get down to as fine a point as you want, get as bold as you want, but you gotta earn it. You gotta learn the control that requires, and I don't have it. I think we need more. Okay, this is where we're going to get pretty bold here at the chin. Maybe not that bold. What are you doing? Shit. Now she's got like a goatee going. All right, we're just getting real bold with it down here. Jack Kirby style. I'm just gonna. Yeah, I guess it's a little too thick, but worse things have happened. Worse things will happen. So. Let's do this. think that was the wrong way to do that mark making there. Let's try this. No, that's not good either. What you doing? It should have been like drier. Brush. Not much more we can do though, without just like giving our humongous eyebrows. So. Not crazy about how that just went. So it goes. Maybe we'll figure it out on the other one. We got one more eyebrow to make it work. Of course, then they're not going to be matching, so there's that to consider. do the eyebrows here next. It's not gonna match, we just gotta fill them in. I guess that's kind of what I wanted. Didn't have it quite right the first time. Okay, now. Starting to get inked up. Fuck that up a little bit. I want to keep that really thin, but so it goes. All right. Imperfections in this Android series, I guess. Some of the creases are maybe inconsistent. think maybe head back up here and then move down again. So for this one, I want it to be a little to the right of the hatch opening beneath it. So that's probably a better angle to do. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. I think I want to add some boldness to this line here. Below. Okay. Back to fun times with the hair. Where everything's made up and the points don't matter. Here too, I think. Best way to do a dot with a calligraphy brush. This is I think this is maybe a mark I haven't tried to make before. keep working up here. Shoot. Some of these lines are pretty tough. How can I get a more precise point here? Let's see. Let's try that. Not getting as fine of a line as I wanted, but now we got more dots, so maybe load up a little bit more ink. No, that's not working. What's the best way to make this mark with a calligraphy brush? Maybe just come at it like almost like a crosshatch. From different directions? I don't know. It's not looking good. Oh, hey. Yeomandur. Gonna be headed to bed soon, but thought I'd pop by for the art stream first. Well, thank you. Also, I don't know, did you just write that? I don't know if you... I've been hyper-concentrated, so sorry if that's been sitting there a while. But thanks for swinging by. So, yeah, the first Inktober prompt is... Dream. So I was thinking like a... Philip K. Dick. Do androids dream of electric sheep? You know, Blade Runner. And also, you know, in celebration of the new Cyberpunk DLC that I'm not playing yet, because too many games, man. Too many games this year. Just got here. Oh, okay. Yeah, appreciate it. It's the first time I've done an art stream. I didn't really expect that anyone would come by, but happy to see you. Do you do any art yourself? Okay. Well, that's kind of getting a little messy in there. Well, I guess since this is coming down here, that's fine. In fact, we could just do... Yeah, that could all bleed together and it'd be fine. Okay. Nothing on paper. When I have time, I like to paint minis, like Warhammer. Oh, right on. You play Warhammer? I was thinking about getting back into it. I did as a kid. It's been a long time. Honestly, I painted the miniatures more than I played it, but I'm with you on that. It's so much fun just to paint those things. Used to have them for a while. Yeah. Well, you were saying you have children, so I imagine that's a time-consuming hobby, right? Only so many hours in the day. It's probably tough to keep up with it. Yeah, work, school, family has you booked up recently. Are you going to school? Taking classes somewhere? Maybe do... Let's just start. Yeah, let's start here, I guess. So actually, maybe turn it this way. Whoa. Attend online college? Oh, right on. What are you studying? Right. We're gonna loop it, swoop it, and pull. Also, yeah, okay. For once in a while, I dip my hand right into the ink. It's a bad time. Oh, that's also a bad time. Yikes. Didn't mean to do that. Oh. We botched it. It's tough. It's a very sensitive way to ink, you know? It's very rewarding. But even to get here, which is I'm still just a novice. I don't know what I'm doing, but this has been a lot of practice even getting it this steady. So I was going for my teaching degree. Oh, but swapping to software dev. You were saying you were, yeah, going down the teaching track, but then switching to that. Okay. I didn't realize you were studying at the moment, though. That's awesome. Just getting progressively inkier. We're gonna have to, might have to wash my hands here in the middle of this endeavor. Get a little too inked up. Can I sort of smooth this out, maybe? Getting a little blotchy. A little blotchy. Oh, well, thank you. It's pretty cool to think about inking like that versus just a pen. Yeah, I always wanted to try this. What is her name? There's an artist, there's an illustrator. Yuko, I think it's Shimizu is her surname. Yuko Shimizu might be it. She's Japanese, but has been in America for a long time. I think lives in New York. She does a lot of like random illustrations. Like you'll see her on the cover of, I don't know, like the New Yorker or the Atlantic or different periodicals. Some comics work and then just like commissions and stuff. But I really love her work. She does everything with a calligraphy brush pen. And there was one of those like, here's a free month of Skillshare that they give out to try and rope you into that. Another streaming service of some sort. That was going for a while, and she was on there. And so she had like a little course that I took before the trial was up. And decided to try it myself because I just love her work and love with the brush pen, like when it's used well, it adds so much character to the piece, right? Like, I love all inking, but with like mechanical pens, there's just I don't want to call it stiffness because that seems like sort of not condescending, but like a negative thing. It is a little difficult to get like the just natural, organic, brushed look that this has. And you can just go from like the boldest of lines down to just the finest of points, but that's just takes such a steady hand, you know? Okay. Yeah, the difference in the line weight variation you get with brushes, yeah, it's more dynamic for sure. It's really nice. It's just fun not having to switch pens too, right? And just do it all with this. It just feels good. It's weighty, you know? And sometimes, you know, the reward is in the struggle, right? To start out like, oh man, I would never show them off, but I don't even think, I probably threw them out, but like the first few attempts to do anything with this brush, just the most god-awful stuff you've ever seen in your life. Just big blots and smears, and it was chaos. So to get here, I feel very fulfilled, and I'm excited to try and get back into it, you know? It's something I started like during the pandemic. There was like a month there where I didn't teach. Like all the schools were closed. It was like a much shorter window of time over here in Japan than in the US, but there was about a month there. So I just decided to try my hand at a bunch of new pursuits, as many people did. So, and after that I kind of fell back off it, but Inktober came calling. Okay. Yeah. It is. It's always good to revisit something. Give it another go. If the interest and passion's there, right? Also, I just find, like, never give up on something, like, even if it doesn't go well for a long time. I mean, I had to quit smoking. I smoked cigarettes for a while. Started when I was 18, and I had to quit, like, I don't even know, like 20 times? So many stops and starts, right? And even a couple, like, periods where, like, oh, I kicked it for, like, a year, and then just fell back in, even after such a long time. You have a small box of minis to paint when I have more time. Heck yeah. It's probably the hardest thing I ever had to do. And it's not over, it never ends. Every once in a while, when the weather's right, when you got a cool breeze going, I'm just like, oh man, sit on the balcony right now, put on some good music, have a smoke. Sounds pretty good. Gotta stay vigilant. Alright. I think we're gonna maybe fill these in and then go onto this big thick wire here. Do I wanna... I'm newly apparently had enough. Oh, I missed that. I grew up in a 2-parent smoking house, so interestingly, none of us or my sisters, or I picked it up. Well, that's great. Yeah, that could go either way, right? Like you become accustomed to it at a young age, and you don't think anything of like picking it up yourself, or it could just be like kind of drive you away from it, right? If you didn't like the smell or something. Yeah, that's good though. It's not worth it. Not worth even dipping your toes into that one, right? There's nothing to be gained from it. All right, I don't know what to do. Let's see, this is the thing. Like circles, I don't know how to pull off circles with this thing yet. It's not, I don't know. Even like these little dots I've been doing, like if you really look at it, they're a mess. Now I've got like a situation where I want to make like a perfect circle. I'm tempted to just pull out like a, I don't know, a different pen and do it that way. Where's the struggle in that? There's a way to do it. It's just a matter of figuring out how. Maybe like to go very, just like lay down a little bit at a time. It's not gonna be perfect, but and turn the page, and I don't know, do that way. Almost do like a octagon. If it's small enough, no one has to know it was an octagon. You just tell everyone it's a circle. A happy little circle, happy little bush. Nobody's any the wiser. Oh, it's something. No one would know. They just think it's all intentional. That's right. Oh, did you do pencil art before you started learning inking? I've always just liked to draw. I don't really have any like serious. I mean, I took some art classes during college. I had some electives, you know. And it's like every couple of years I don't know, I jump in and do a lot of it for like a period of time, and then I just kind of fall off, and you know, life gets in the way, or I get caught up with other things, and then I just don't touch it for a while. So I've done a decent bit of drawing, but again, nothing crazy, and it's still like a beginner skill set in my mind. So like this is the first thing I've drawn in quite a while, actually. Other than like emotes, I was making, you know, emotes for my Twitch streams, my channel. So I drew some of those before, like, but I did all that like digitally. So solid base drawing and faces are hard. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You can see that she doesn't have any hands or feet. Now those are the tricky ones. Whenever possible, just have a severed head. Skip all the tricky bits. No hands or feet. It's not intentional, it's just there was no reason for hands. That's what I'm gonna tell everybody. Really, I'm just a big old scaredy cat. This one we can kind of be messy with it, because this is gonna be all black. True, AI can't even draw hands. Oh, don't get me started on the AI. I'm not gonna get on my soapbox, but in short, I'm not a fan. Like, I don't make my living as an artist, but for those who do, like, I hate what it's potentially doing to them. Already has started kind of doing to them. Oh, I'm getting it all inked up. they're just having their work basically like scrubbed and stolen, you know? But yeah, maybe that's a good thing, right? You keep failing at hands as long as possible, AI. Give us a little more breathing room here before you really take over. Let us just enjoy these twilight years of human creation. Yeah, that part was not good. Yeah, there's obviously benefits. Like, and I use AI, like we all use AI, right? In any number of capacities. Like even when I'm going into Photoshop and just like, well, I could manually remove this background myself, or I could just click remove background, and I mean, if the photo was taken under the right conditions, it's just gone, you know? Like, okay, yeah, some things, it's like, we don't all want to like go get water from the well, right? Like modern conveniences. It is fine, like finding the balance, right? That's tricky. That's what we're trying to figure out. I think it's just a species. Okay. Not crazy about this. I didn't know how this was gonna go. That's my biggest weakness thus far, is like knowing when to just go like deep black on an area and give it some like highlights, and I don't know. Like I haven't progressed past just like the most basic tracing in my inking thus far, right? So that's what I'm currently trying to get better at, like knowing when to just like shroud things in shadow, or like meld certain areas together into one like uniform black. Where to put the highlights. That's tricky. I think maybe this would help, just to like, well, maybe it wouldn't. We'll come back to you. We reserve the right to revisit you later. Random highlight on wire. Just gotta find some balance, not steal others' artwork. Yeah, seriously. That's the thing, like, because to me, it's not like the kid that, you know, I don't know, wants to see like Wolverine with like Spider-Man powers fighting, you know, RoboCop in the sky or something. You know what I mean? Like just like random things and like make it for me. I want to see that. It's about bad actors, right? Like corporations, just like finding ways to just get our work for free, you know? Is that special paper to hold up to the ink? Oh, secret in that, sorry. Yeah, it's, actually, I don't even know the paper weight on this. Does it have it on here for me? This is just a random, I don't really know, actually. Because, like in America, I always bought like, you know, specific like paperweights, because I kind of knew what I wanted, but here I was just like, I just got this at the home center store nearby. So it's got a nice like papery kind of rough texture to it, and it's thick, so that's what I was looking for. Just nothing with like any slickness or smoothness to it, and again, not too thin, because yeah, the ink will just bleed right through. Like most of the time it's actually not too bad, because like I'm not really putting down a whole lot of ink at once in most situations, but like for this wire and stuff, that's a place where it would definitely bleed through. Because I try and keep the brush from like being too wet. Oh, botched that one. That's awful. We're gonna have some hair. We're just gonna bring some hair down. Look at that. Don't tell anybody. No one has to know. Delete the video. I always meant that to be hair. It's the only thing I ever had planned for that. Also, I'm gonna have to do better than that if I'm gonna hide it. Alright. It's fine. Good enough. Yeah, this point of view. Yeah. Camera zoomed out so you can't all see my mistakes. Ours critical eye strikes again. Yeah. That's true. It's also like, I know this isn't the best resolution. I got the camera looking as good as possible. When it's like blown up this big, it's just a webcam here I got. So, I don't really have a good setup for doing an art stream. I'm trying to make it work with what I got without going out and, you know, getting a camera. A proper camera. Alright, let's think. Where are we going next? We could do this guy down here. That's probably the play. That's not what I want to do because it's going to be hard. Drawing with abandon. When we're in pencil time, just do anything, try anything. It's all easy. It's all good. Then we get to the brush and like, why did I draw all these little components? What was I thinking? And all these circles. Why did I draw circles? Can I go back and make all of these square knobs real quick? Because yikes. We're going to learn how to do circles here today. That's the goal. Didn't know what the goal was when we started. This is what it is. Learn how to do circles. Whoa, with a calligraphy brush. Okay. I think let's just, let's do it. Keep going down and then rightward, come up around maybe. Like clear this, come up, do the console up here with the sheep, come down to the wires, and then probably turn the page and do all this over here from the other side. I think that's the plan. Okay. So in that case, I wonder, is it actually easier? Start at the bottom here. Hey, Frederick, what's going on? Thanks for coming by. How you doing? Good morning to you. Is it morning over there? I can't remember the time difference. I know you told me. I'm sorry. 9 a.m. Right on. How's your weekend going? You up to anything good? Doing good. Glad to hear it. Just doing some art. Finished Fatal Frame this morning. Moved on to Parasite Eve 2. Did a couple... Man, getting inkier and inkier. Did a couple hours of that. Took a break. Doing some art. And I don't know how many of these Inktober streams I'm going to do. I can't do every day. That's just too big of an ask. Too big of a commitment. But... playing a lot of Cyberpunk, yeah. Wow, we got some Cyberpunk vibes going here. This is what I'm doing instead of playing. I'm drawing Cyberpunk. What if I drew my own DLC? When you draw your DLC, you can do anything. How's that going, though? I know you're pretty hot on it. Like even before it dropped, right? Just like the current, or the recent update. Finished the DLC. How was it? I should have turned off Nightbot. Nightbot's telling us about all kinds of things we can't do today. Sorry, y'all. No jump scares. You wouldn't want to jump scare me in the middle of inking something, now would ya? Does anyone want to see that? Me just make a big blot in the middle of the page because you spooked me. So, sound alerts aren't going. Loved it. Planning another playthrough when I finish my current one. Heck yeah. I'm done for the night. Have a good day. Catch you next stream, hopefully. Thank you so much. Thanks again for following today. Glad to see you again. Thanks for coming by. Have a great night. I'll see you next time. Done with the DLC. Still doing the base game. Nice. I don't know what we're doing with this guy. It's not turning out too well. But I didn't have a clear plan of what I wanted these components to look like, really. This isn't the time to problem solve. How's that new mouse working out for you, Frederick? Still good? Perfect, exactly what I wanted. Nice. I know you were saying that last time. I was just thinking, like, it's been maybe like a week. Sometimes, you know, after the honeymoon period is over, you find, like, that's when you really know how you feel about it, right? Well, I'm glad to hear that. Is Parasite Eve 2 the bad one? No. The bad one, I guess, is 3. I haven't played that. But apparently it's a very different game and not a good kind of different. I've only played the first one, and the first one is a very cool game. It's very interesting. Like it's a pretty like balanced mix of like Squaresoft RPG, you know, PS1 RPG, like survival horror game like mechanics in a lot of ways, but like the way they work the battle system, it's like a real-time battle system. You're kind of like contained within a certain area, and you're in really close quarters with enemies, and like it kind of amounts to, it almost feels like, I don't know, not quite as so intense, but like a bullet hell shooter at times, where like you're just dodging a bunch of attacks, waiting for your ATB meter to fill up, and then you kind of unleash your own attack. You shoot it with a pistol or your elemental ability or whatever it is, and then you just kind of go back to running around and dodging stuff, waiting for your meter. It was a fun game. Very atmospheric, you know, like a goofy story, as you would expect from a game of the era. Goofy dialogue, silly characters, the kind of, you know, everything's a little off, as it often is when, like, you have a Japanese developer, at least, like, you know, a couple decades back, doing, like, something in an American setting, as it usually is for, like, anyone from a foreign country that maybe isn't so, I don't know, you know, they're not of the culture, so, like, it's got little quirks and idiosyncrasies, right? But very fun. So the second one so far is still kind of goofy, but they're leaning more into the survival horror vibes already, so I'm into it. A YouTuber I follow did a Parasite Eve 1 video, their first Spoopy Inktober video. It looked really interesting. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that was a good pick for them. Was it their first time playing it? Or I guess it was a YouTube video, so was it a playthrough, or was it like kind of a deep dive on it? Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. For here, let's see. Flip her back around. Oh, see, I kind of want to be upright, but then I'm kind of too close to this. Kind of need some elbow room. YouTuber is Indie Mouse, full playthrough, long edited video. Right on. Did you watch the whole thing? Did they have trouble at the end? Because I had trouble at the end. That's a tough final boss. And it has the weirdest leveling system I think I've ever seen in any game. Maybe not system. System's maybe not the right word. Like, you get experience from battles. And I don't remember what level it is. Say it's like level 30. You're like you're just rolling along. It's like, okay, 3,000 experience till the next level. All right, 3,500 to level 29. You know, 3,700 to level 30. And then you hit level 30 or whatever it is, and suddenly it's like, you need like 100,000 experience for like the next level. I don't remember what it is, but it's like, it's a huge jump, and there's like 5, I think, or like 7, or a handful of levels there where just it's like this enormous amount of experience you need. It almost is like, you think like, oh, this is just kind of like the soft cap. Like, you can't really level beyond this without like hours and hours of grinding. But then if you clear that hurdle, on the other side of those levels, it goes back to like 6,000 experience the next level. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why they did that. Because I was at the point at the end of that game, like, I just can't do this. I'm not good enough. I gotta like grind. And then I looked at the grinding. It's like, this is a serious proposition to even do this. This is hours and hours of commitment based on them having it set up this way. not sure, his videos are more like movies, focus on vibes, story, jokes, less emphasis on leveling mechanics, for example. Got it. Whoa, somehow I got like a way off center here. We're leaning to the side here. What did I do? Alright, we can fix this. I don't know what I just did. Maybe because I'm like at an angle. This happens from time to time. Okay. We're just gonna, I don't know. We got it enshrouded in shadow here. Why? Because authorial intent, that's why. I don't know if that's much better. I don't know. Doesn't really make sense. I don't know. I guess that's kind of the way I drew it here. Blame past tense me. Yeah, it's a little wonky. I was struggling with that. I was like, what would be the perspective on this, right? Because it's kind of like below eye line. It's in the foreground, and then it kind of moves up into the eye line with the arm here holding the head. I didn't have the skill set to really know how to pull that off. And now you're seeing the result of that. Oh, okay. More circles. I still can't seem to pull off the circles with this brush, but figuring out how to cheat, sort of get around them a little bit. Better than before at the very least. A little bit of progress. No, I say that. I've just got a big old blot. Might be time for a hand wash here soon. Getting pretty messy. Getting real inky. Oh, were you thinking of playing Cyberpunk 2.0 and DLC? Yes, I'm thinking about it a lot, especially as I'm like hearing about it and seeing other people playing it. The thing is, like, with doing like my Twitch, kind of committed to doing horror games for the month, you know? And then I've got the podcast I'm doing too, so I was playing games for that. Thankfully, the next couple episodes we're doing movies. So the next game is probably like a month out that I gotta play for that. So I do have some free time, but yeah, I don't know what to do because this is a huge investment, right? And once I get started, like it's gonna take over my life. I know it because that's how the first playthrough was. Like it was like 120 something hours that I spent in Cyberpunk. It was nuts, and I loved every second of it. So kind of trying to decide. Like I might wait on it a little longer because also I've got Armored Core 6 that I want to do the new game plus in as well. They did a really good job making it fit into the world of the base game. Returning voice actors did a great job, and I played the DLC alongside the base game, and it felt pretty much the same as playing the base game. That's awesome. I'm glad it's incorporated well. I'm excited. Oh. It's a little too heavy. Did it again. Thanks. Can I fix that? Can I fix it? Might be too late. And it's the same problem as all RPGs, where people will just sit and wait for you while you do other side stories. Like someone asks you to meet them in the evening, and you meet them in the evening 3 weeks later. Yeah. So you don't like that, right? I guess there's like, I'm torn, right? Because there's like the role-playing side of me that wants to invest in the reality of this world and like have things matter, and then there's like the gamer side of me that like wants to be able to do everything without consequences, you know what I mean? Oh. So you're more of like, you want the role-playing experience to feel authentic as what do I want to say? As authentic as possible? Is that what you usually look for? All right, time to deal with the wheel. That just made it fit better with the base game. I was able to comfortably jump between quest lines. You like it? Yeah. Did you play the game Pentiment? Or are you aware of it? One of my favorite games from last year. I did fail a quest because I got distracted though. A kidnapped monk did not get saved. Yeah. Side quest from the base game. Oh, I remember that one. Yeah, I remember that one. I think. I'm trying to think. I'm like remembering like you meet the monk in multiple locations, right? Kidnapped and forcibly augmented, or maybe I'm misremembering this. trying to remember how that quest even went and how it ended. I do remember meeting the monk multiple times. Are you visiting a grave or something? All right, is that right? There's also a monk you meet in several locations. That's what I'm thinking. You've heard of Pentiment. It's a very good game. That one made a great usage of it. It's one of the best I've seen in a game where, like, because you're trying to solve like a murder at the beginning of it, and you have like all these leads around town, and everyone's like, oh, if you come to supper tonight, I'll tell you a little bit of gossip about the priest in town. Or, oh, if you go dine with the monks, maybe they'll let something slip about the nuns. All these different things, and it's like coming up on nighttime, and it's like, you can only eat dinner with one person. Who you choose is going to dramatically affect the evidence you get and where you're drawn, like who you're drawn to like accuse. It's like, this is like, the choices matter, and it feels like it hurts so bad. It's like, I don't know, I want to go to all these places, I can't, I can only go to one. It's frustrating and in the best way. It's like, okay, I'm super invested in like my playthrough, and I really want to play it again and see like how else it might go. It's a great game. Follow Josh Sawyer on Twitter. Huge fan. Is Josh Sawyer the developer, or like the director? Actually, I'm actually not familiar too much with the developers, to be honest. It is Obsidian, though, right? I guess I know that much. That's about all. I am planning on playing it. Just need to be in the right mood. It's a game you have to be in the mood for sure, because it's slow and methodical, and it's, you know, a lot of reading, and if you're not in the mood for that, like, same thing with like Disco Elysium, right? Like, I think that's like the greatest game in the last however many years, but gotta be ready to read. It's a novel. He's a director. Read the known for section on the right. I will. I'll pull that up. Oof, inky fingers. Let me pull that up for later viewing, later reading. There we go. Cool. Hooking me up, always. There's always good reading to be done after I have you in my stream, right? Hook me up with all those awesome articles about animals on trial. Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights 2, Fallout New Vegas, Pillars of Eternity. Wow, what a run, man. Okay, I should be following this guy. I don't have a Twitter though, but I should be at least like paying attention when he comes up in conversation somewhere. I'll do that from now on. Josh Sawyer. I think the plan is just to go back through here after I'm done and just kind of grody everything up with the brush. I think that's going to cover a lot of my mistakes. That's how I get around it. Just brush around, gunk it up, add some texture, distract everyone from the fact that these lines aren't straight, proportions aren't right. Fan of Cyberpunk 2.0? Oh yeah? It's been like well received, right? Like people are happy with it. That was the saddest thing about the original release of Cyberpunk. Like the game was so good, but just the state it was in, like, just got decimated, you know? And it's like, I guess for good reason, because like you shouldn't be releasing a product in that state for public consumption, you know? Like you're selling us a shoddy product, you need to fix that stuff first. It was still a bummer to see because like all everyone wanted to talk about was the bugs, and it's like, yeah, but what about the phenomenal game underneath? You know? People are generally happy with it. That's good. They've sort of gained back their goodwill, right? So I'm happy to see. The game was launched in an unacceptable state, especially the previous gen. Yeah, that's what I had. So like, you know, I wasn't like ready to be super forgiving. I never thought about like returning it though. I just always thought like, I'll just hang on to this and wait till it's playable. And then I just couldn't wait. So I just went for it. But it was frustrating, man. So many crashes, just so much wild bullshit. But it's kind of good. It's like I get to play the whole thing again. It's going to be like a completely different game. It'll be like a first time all over again. But I'll never forget like going through the scene where I romanced Pan Am and we got to do it, you know, in the tank or whatever that thing was called, the big vehicle. And then after that, like my pants just didn't come back on. I was just running around half naked. Like I think they're supposed to come back on at a certain point. They didn't. So it took a little bit of the drama out of some of the following scenes. Just the fact that I'm running around with that dong hanging out, and I went for the big one. You know, I chose the biggest one possible. When I set up my character, how could you not, right? In my opinion, it didn't need much to be acceptable on PC, and the amount of work they have put in above and beyond what was needed, that's good, right? I guess just like desperately trying to gain back the goodwill, right? Get back in everyone's good graces. So many clothing bugs at launch. I ran around with my penis sticking through my... That's what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. I didn't have pants, period, for a little while. That's so funny. Oh, man. What a time to be alive. Hey, Artificial Soul, what's going on? I almost didn't recognize you because of the new lighting. Actually, I always have this lighting, but I guess I don't use it well. I don't know. I guess I haven't looked at myself in a little bit. Yeah, I'm well lit, aren't I? But I mean, it's spooky season. We can't be well lit. I gotta be shrouded in darkness. Yeah, I'm also not wearing like I'm usually wearing like blue light glasses. I don't know. I tend to get like headaches from looking at screens, and I think it's a placebo effect. I don't think they're really helping, but they're helping because like I feel better. So like if it's placebo effect, fine. I'm just gonna keep using them because it's working on that regard. I don't feel like so bad about staring at a screen for a while. I still feel bad about it, but the game is still buggy in places, and I don't expect perfection. At the moment, it's almost all fun bugs and glitches, no game-breaking stuff in my experience. Yeah, see, I didn't mind a lot of that stuff either. Like, it's goofy, okay, yeah, like, it's kind of breaking my immersion for a second, but, you know, whatever. But, like, whenever I got that just blue screen, like, hard crash out to the PS4 system screen, like, man, I was right in the middle of something. At least, like, the checkpointing was pretty good. Like, usually I wasn't too far away. But there was also this quest. I remember I just like automatically failed it every time I wanted to start it. It was something, was that like some sort of publication house or like a investigative establishment or something? I never did the quest, so it's hard for me to remember, but every time I went in there, just like I would automatically fail just from starting. Blue light glasses may be a placebo effect, but I do swear by having the blue light filter on my phones and screens when applicable. Yeah. The more I'm looking into it, like, it's placebo for sure, I think. But, I don't know. I'm in too deep now, right? I already have them. But I do feel the difference, like, especially, like, late at night. And it might just be it might not even be blue light. It's just the fact that, like, they naturally dim the light a little bit, right? Like, if I'm in bed trying to read something... it feels a lot better to have those on, you know. Trying to think of what that might be. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was, and I remember like Googling it, like, am I doing something wrong? Am I failing it by the way I'm approaching this? And like, no, you can get like hard locked out of this. and there's no fix. There was no fix at the moment. I don't remember if I had like done something in my playthrough that like had made that bug appear or what, or if it was just like random. Oh man, getting inky. Even inkier. What was it? I want to say it was like a newspaper, not like a newspaper, like something with journalism, I think. Some like journalism outlet. Yeah, sorry, I can't remember. Anyway, Artificial Soul, how you doing? How's your weekend going? Not bad. Yeah, mine's been good. Thanks. Nothing major, just hanging out. Doing a lot of streaming today. I've been doing this most of the day. Did Fatal Frame this morning. Finished that. Did some Parasite Eve 2. On to the next spooky time. Did some things. Took care of some business. Came back to do some art. It's Inktober. So the challenge is, can you do an ink drawing every day for the month of October? Probably not. I don't think I have it in me. Especially since, I mean, that's like a big undertaking if that's all you focus on, but if I'm trying to do other stuff too, right? But I thought, you know, maybe get a few in here and there. Maybe at least once a week. Might be fun. It's good to have a reason to just kind of get back into it. See if I can improve a little bit. We're gonna maybe turn you upside down here. Do it that way. Yeah, this might be easier. For the moment. Almost done with this guy. It's been a little tricky. All these tiny components. Do that. I've really been pleasantly surprised with this license-free synthwave playlist. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't really expect much from what's the Twitch-friendly music, you know? Some pretty good tracks in here. How do we want to handle this? You enjoying it? Yeah, me too. Now I'm kind of curious, like, what else they got on here. I gave it like a cursory glance. I started out with some jazz, but there were a couple really good tracks, but most of it, like, I just wasn't really feeling it. And it kind of like was all over the place. Some of them are like kind of loungy and like down tempo, and then every once in a while you got like, I don't know, like scroll nut zippers kind of shit, just like bouncy, a little too like playful. It's like, this isn't really the vibe I'm going for here. That's another area where I just don't really know what to do with this thing yet, with this brush. Like, how do you pull off a good just single dot? Nice round dot, you know? It's tricky. Because the bristles tend to angle one way or another. And then if you go in there and try and like round it out, you just keep getting bigger and bigger, you know? Okay. Almost on to fun times again. Almost onto some fun shapes. These wires will be fun, I think. I really tend to prefer just organic stuff in general, as opposed to mechanical parts, which is probably just like a skill issue, right? It's like, oh yeah, I prefer the things that don't have a defined shape or can kind of like have more flexibility, still appear to be the thing they are without having like a hard, straight line on it. what's the motion? I'm gonna have to like seek out some resources, look at some brush inkers, see what they're doing in these situations. I really don't know. How do you get a nice, without just like loading it up with ink and having enough on the tip to kind of saturate? Even then, I put a decent bit of ink on here. It's just not really enough. And I'm going to be overloaded with ink, so I'm going to have to like expend that somewhere. Which I guess is fine since I have these thick black wires I'm going for. Just a second. Let's finish her up here at the neck. Actually, yeah, let's do that. I think that'll be fine. Okay, now we want to go very thin. Can we do this? Can we do it? Very carefully. See, now we're... Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Shoot. That's not where I want. That's a little too high. Which means... it's a little too bold. I wanted to get it nice and thin there. Shoot, did it again. But trying to fix it would just... try to make it look intentional. We're gonna try. Oh, simmer down. Okay. Having that sort of rounded down slight V here kind of describes it in the wrong way, right? Like having a flat line across, a straight line across is preferable. This kind of makes it seem like it's protruding a little bit. That like millimeter difference there really can like totally change the sort of sense of shape there. Like relationship to the rest of the neck. That's all it takes. All right. I guess let's go up top here and do the sheep, actually. Do the sheep, do this area, knock that out. While that's drying, we can do here, through the console, like down to about here, and then come back over here. Knock this out. We won't be coming into this wet area. Just go right. Then it'll be time to flip it and do here. Cool. If y'all would excuse me, that's maybe a good time for me to step away. I'm getting like real inked. Give me 1 second. It's about 2 hours. I could just like stand up, stretch a little bit, drink some water, which I guess I can do that part here, right? How long till I mistake my water cup with my brush water cup? What's your prediction? All right, I'll be right back. I should have set up like a away message, but anyway, 1 second. All right, thank y'all for hanging around. De-inkified hands, but not for long. They're gonna get messy here soon enough. Because all this ink is seeped down to the base of the brush here. I'm holding it too close to the ink here. Maybe I should be better about that. Okay. So we're going here to the sheep. That's the plan. Would drinking ink be bad for you? I can't imagine it'd be good for you. There's a scene in the movie, The Last Emperor. Have you ever seen that? It's a great movie. About the last emperor of China. As like modernity was setting in. And the unraveling of the like the imperial state, you know? In the face of that. Anyway, when it's going through his childhood as an emperor, he's like a real little shit. you know, because he's brought up in just wealth and privilege, thinking he can make anyone do anything. There's a point where he's having like a pissing contest with another, I don't know, like wealthy child of another important family, and they're just like showing off what they can do. And so he makes one of his attendants drink the ink that's being used for, like, you know, brush writing something, to kind of prove, like, I can make my attendant drink ink. Look what I can make this other human being do. He's at my beck and call. So I remember that scene in that movie. So that, he didn't die. It's a movie, but also it's based on true events. I don't know if that was created for the movie or if that's based on some historical record. And that's kind of all the information I have on the subject of drinking ink. A scene from a movie. So. This is where I'm supposed to tell you, though, that ink is actually good for virility, right? This is where I pivot to a biohacking channel, where I'm dispensing wisdom about taking your body and your psyche to the next level. Drink ink every morning. A shot of ink in your gut. Take your thetan levels to the max. Boost testosterone in men. Catalyzes muscle growth. We're having a very messy, bold line at the edge of this monitor. This is not our best work. A shot of ink alongside my fresh urine and probiotic kefir or yogurt. Yes, that's right. Now, make sure when you drink the ink, well, you got to mix it all. If you blend it all together, it's a lot easier. Now, it only works. You can't use this. I'm using the wrong ink here. You cannot have, like, store-bought, ready-to-go ink. You need to get the ink stick and, like, blend it yourself, right? And you need to do it with raw water. If you do it with tap water, it's going to kill all of the bacteria that you want. So do it with raw water. And then put that in your urine. Blend it up real nice. Bit of yogurt. Now, this is counterintuitive, right? You're thinking, okay, urine, raw water, natural ingredients. Probably I want to use, like, real yogurt, right? No, you'll play, actually. Fruit at the bottom. Don't get it stirred. If that's pre-stirred, it's going to counteract all of the nutrients. You got to get just fruit at the bottom. Peach is the best. Big hunks of peach. That'll get you right. If Astrobot were a farmer, that was the guiding vision for this little electric sheep here that our android is dreaming of. Sounds like a lot of effort. It is, but, like, do you want to reach your full potential? These things take huge investments. Time, money, effort. Now, you're getting the most out of your urine, right? Like, what are you drinking to create that urine? Because that's important, too. The best urine comes from drinking urine. Like, you let the urine cycle through you twice. So, really, if you fast for a day on urine, and then you get that going through, oh, baby. Potent. Okay. Let's come around here. Let's take you this way. It's all about always finding the right angle for these things. This bass line in the background of this one, it's dangerously close to Thriller. Dun, 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 dun. Cursed urine talk sounds like Bear Grylls. That's right. I'm coming for you, Bear. You're not going to be the only game in town for long. Someone should clip this and post it on some alt-health subreddit. Yeah, you're right. How do I maximize my... Wait, let me square up. Alright, fella alphas. This is what you need to do to get swole. Nothing but urine. Every Tuesday and Thursday. When your coworkers start to complain, you just tell them right off. Say, look, I'm doing something here. I know it stinks. I know the fridge is full of my piss. Deal with it. It's all about maximizing your biohacking. There. Start the clip there. Let's set this up properly. Oh. Simmer down. Have to knock the ink off the desk here. I think I'm gonna have you come out like that. Yeah. A little bit more than I originally drew it. I think that'll be it. For the best. Now this track has some cyberpunk vibes, as in the game, you know? Like, I'm about to quick hack somebody with this. This could have been, yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? This would fit right in. Alright, this part's going to be a little tricky, and if I slip up with this, it's all over. Oh. Well, these clean fingers didn't last long, did they? Oh, man. Okay, I don't know if I want to, like, have a line between the interior of that eye yet or not. But once I do it, I can't go back. So we're going to leave it off for now. Leave it out. I think I'm going to need to turn you like so. Or maybe like so. Yeah, there we go. Aw. I think I kind of like how you're turning out. Oh, shoot. Be careful here. Okay. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. A little thicker than I wanted. Find myself saying it often. Just the slightest bit of pressure. And you've got a completely different line weight, you know? Gotta be careful. So where all these wires start to converge, that's what I'm currently wondering about. What to do there? Whoa. It's a little too top heavy. There we go. That's okay. I'm not pulling off these wire highlights very well. Also, I gotta know what that track was. What was that? That was nice. Can I do this with my non-inky finger? I don't know. Oh boy. Cruising for a bruise in here. What's that? Hand in Hand by Daniel James. I like that. That was a good track. Alright, Daniel James. Well done. Yeah, I don't know about these wire highlights. They're not feeling quite right. Maybe are they too... I don't know if it's better to have them taper off or kind of like end abruptly. I don't know. Need more practice. It's really just a matter of experimenting till something works and then replicating that, right? Or imitating a master. Should probably look a little more carefully about, like, I try and like get in the zone sometimes by looking at some, like, is it Mike Mignola? I guess I've never really tried to say it aloud, surprisingly. Hellboy artist, he's very good with this. His inking is just out of control good. I really appreciate artists that make open source or other free to use license art. Yeah. That's nice, right? Whether it's models for games or music for streams, big fan. I agree. I love it. I like this effect I got there, but it's kind of shouldn't be on the top actually. Now that I'm thinking, maybe that works. I have like an inconsistent sense of where the light's coming from in this. I guess it's coming from all kinds of places, right? Because we got multiple monitors, but do you have any favorite artists, Frederick? Josh Sawyer. Oh, absolutely. How about fine artists or like visual artists? Like illustrators, I guess I should say. That's the better question, right, to pose. That was what I meant initially. It's like, right, artist is just a general term for a creative endeavor by a human being, right? Not sure you're bad at names. It's cool. You know, some people have names in their brain, you know what I mean? Some people just like, oh, I just, you know, it's all good. Or like a general style, but I'm not so hung up on the names or who did it or etc. actually kind of a mistake there, but it came out kind of nicely, actually. It's a different effect than I intended. It's more of a threaded set of wires, but I kind of dig it. It works. And never been that into art outside of games and animation. I gotcha. How about animation? What do you like? Okay. Are we at the end? Had to happen eventually. That is the end of the synthwave. I mean, that was substantial. That was what, like 2.5 hours? Not bad. And I'm not gonna lie, there was some good stuff in there. I'm gonna put that last track on one more time. I really enjoyed that. Hand in Hand. There was another one. I forgot to look at the name. There's like 3 or 4 actually that really stood out to me in this. I guess left-handed is the play here. What would be another playlist? A good one to explore. We could do Chill. Chill might be good. Can always come back to synthwave if it isn't. What is this? Call of Duty inspired. That's interesting, but probably not what I'm feeling. Gamers Lounge. Interesting. Anything that makes me feel sad, really. If it's depressing or bittersweet, I am likely to enjoy it. Yeah? Have you ever seen the movie Angel's Egg? Tenshi no Tamago? No, but I've heard of it. You might like it. It's one of my favorite animated films. It is beautiful, ethereal, strange, surreal, haunting, sad, gorgeous artwork. It's Yoshitaka Amano. Was the character designer, or just general all-around visual designer for Final Fantasy for a long time. All the original games, up through, I'm trying to think, he started like taking a backseat to Tetsuya Nomura, or I think around like the PlayStation 1 era. Still did like character portraits and design work, but gradually, but does like the logos still for Final Fantasy. But he did the design work for Angel's Egg, and it feels like an Amano piece come to life. He's my all-time favorite artist, period. Not just Final Fantasy, but highly recommend that. You can watch it for free on YouTube. I want to say it's like an hour and some change. It's not too long. I think it'll stick with you. Inspired part of the Ring City DLC for Dark Souls 3. Is that true? Huh. I didn't know that. I'm trying to remember, do you like anime? I don't know if we've talked about anime or not. All right, I guess let's try. I'm curious about Gamers Lounge actually. What is this all about? Oh. Okay. Might be off to a good start here. Like a lot of anime. You ever watch Berserk? What year was it? Maybe 95, 97, 90s. That original series, not the later movies or visual abomination that was I don't even know what to call it. The second try at doing a Berserk series. I couldn't even watch it. It felt like a PS2 cutscene come to life. It was so awful aesthetically. It might have even been good, I don't know. But I couldn't get past that at the time. started it, but the first few episodes weren't able to capture my attention. I've heard it gets a lot better. It does. I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't really feel it at first either. When I watched it a long time ago. Little by little, because I was buying the VHS tapes, you know? That was the only way I had to watch it back in those days. So, I got the first tape, was like, kind of interested. I don't know, it was kind of like, I still kind of thought it was maybe semi-generic sort of sorcery stuff, but I was like invested enough in the characters, like, let me try the next tape. And then I got hooked. One of the darkest series, for sure. Another favorite artist of mine, Kentaro Miura, who sadly passed away. Was that last year? The year before? It was recent. But I think he's got his underlings that have taken over the manga. I think they started it back up, I think, finally. I think it's going again. His work is phenomenal. I need to read more of the manga. I've only read some. I don't know why I haven't done that. Because well, I don't even know how the story ends. Because they just did that one series, you know, for the animated show, and they didn't finish that story, and it needs to be finished. I need to know what happened to these characters. Sounds like something I would love, especially considering so much of recent FromSoft games. Yeah, for sure. That's the vibe, definitely. Yeah, it was really sad. I know. Such a shame. This one didn't turn out as well as the one up here. I think they have released more Berserk. The new writer-artist was a good friend of Miura. Best friend, maybe? Maybe that's right. I guess I don't really have the details straight. It was like an anime fan group I was in. They were talking about it, and I just lurk in there. I don't really talk, so I'll just read posts sometimes, and people were talking about it after the fact, saying like everyone was kind of like lamenting his passing, the sadness of that in itself, and then also like, oh, we'll never get to know the end of the story as well. And someone was talking about like, oh, well, he had like maybe friends or other people working alongside him, because usually, you know, the mangakas, like the immense workload that it is, like they offload a lot of the inking or like different textures or even some panels to some trusted, you know, second in commands that are working alongside them. So it might be that kind of situation. I'm not really sure. Oh, is this it? Pop that up here for later. Okay. Oh, nice. Thanks. Cool. I'll take a look at that. If I can. Oh, I can. Beautiful. It's like, sometimes people send me something to like check out on Twitter, and then I try and look at it, but it's like I don't have a Twitter account, so I can't. I'm just faced with like the sign up for X now. That's what it is. Page. I'm just like, I'm not doing it. You're not going to get me. I've made it this far. Short thread with a translation. Oh, I just read that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. Because I would like to read that, even though I'm not up to date on the manga. I'm curious. One of these days, I'm going to just go through it. Deep dive. One of these days. No spoilers in the main thread. Can't vouch for replies, though. Oh, yeah. I gotta watch out for those. Because it could be any number of things, since I'm, like, so far out of date on the manga. Like, there's probably stuff that happened years and years ago that I don't even know about. You know? I'll watch out for those. Go this way. Still don't have this quite right. But I think I kind of like that better. I think maybe having like the highlight come out and around and kind of help describe the curvature a little bit more, as opposed to just staying parallel with the exterior contour. I think that might be better. In fact, maybe even coming out like here, taking a little bit off of there. That might have been a mistake, actually, because now we got too much black in between these wires. I think probably finish this console first. That was my original plan. I came down a little too far, actually, because now I'm having to be in the danger zone while I ink this. Actually got a little off. Okay, it's time for another circle. This one, you have to do it properly because it's large enough where it's going to be noticeable if I try and cheat my way through it. Just going to have to get the curvature down. I think doing no more than just about that much is the trick. I'm really hungry and trying to convince myself not to order food and cook instead. Yeah? So what are your two options? Like, were you to order, what would you order? Were you to cook, what would you cook? I'm feeling the same way, though, I gotta be honest. I might not be able to finish this today, which technically I'm still in the clear if I wake up and do it tomorrow morning before work, because in America it's still Inktober day 1. That just means there's going to be no way I do Inktober day 2, which is fine. Tomorrow's prompt is spiders, and I was like, I don't really know what to do with that anyway. Obviously draw a spider, but I'm not really. I like prompts that have you think a little more broadly, and maybe that's just my own shortcoming, right? I can't think of anything creative to do with spiders. Kebab from a cheap place that has huge portions, enough food for the whole day, but same price as one meal from another place. Not gonna lie, were it me, and I'm speaking from someone that doesn't have the easiest access to good kebabs. They're here, but they're not always like close. I'd be going kebab. I'd go for that. Man, I could go for that. That sounds really good. There's a truck that comes through. It posts up like pretty close to me actually, but I can't seem to get a sense of its schedule. It used to show up on Mondays, and I knew where to look for it, when to look for it. But last couple years, really, I think, it's just all over the place. You never know when it's going to be there. Half the time when I see it, it's like, oh, it's here today. I've already eaten, or I already bought something, or planning on cooking. Oh well. Norway has tons of kebab places, yeah? A lot of places might, right? Like America too. And even in Japan, like it's not like rare, it's just, you know, I'm in like a severely rural place and we don't always have the best access to everything. It's really not far. If like I could drive 20 minutes or so and get it. I think that's probably about how long it would take. 20, 30 minutes by car. It'd be a lot longer if I went by train. It's just a matter of like, is it worth it to go that far? Just for a kebab? The answer is usually no. Oh, these circles, man. These circles are tricky. You also have this kebab Norse. Let's take a look. Watch these ink fingers. Okay. I'll need to read this a little more thoroughly. Nice. Language variant of Norwegian. Yeah, I was seeing that just now. Interesting. Oh no. Did I ink my mouse? I'm pushing it with how close I'm getting here. So while I'm just fiddling here, I'm gonna go ahead and skip this one. I'm not feeling this track here. Very carefully. Okay. That's not so much my style. There we go. Kebabs are a staple in Norwegian cities. It's the go-to drunk food. Oh man, it's a good drunk food. Yes. Salty, meaty, dense. Sometimes cheesy if you're feeling it. You got me. So that's not kebab so much with the cheesy part, but you know. I just meant generally drunk food, right? Those are the flavors I'm looking for in the depths of being influenced by alcohol. The place I'm ordering from is open from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. Hell yeah. This is a messy... Didn't turn out so well. It's really tough. Really tough to do circles with this. I still don't know the trick. Actually, I'd rather come around this way, but that ink is still wet, I think. I might be asking for it, doing it this way. Messy. Let's check out this image. You're gonna give me a hankering for kebab. I think I've already got it. Get off here and drive 20 minutes, make it happen. Pretty much what you're getting, just getting a lot more, yeah? Ooh. Oh, man. Now I want kebab. That looks good. Let's come down from the top here. Yeah, that's probably okay. Let's do that. Do the same here. So have you decided then? You going kebab or are you cooking? It has been ordered. It has been done. I'm a sucker for Mediterranean and Middle Eastern food. Yeah. Whether it's westernized junk or versions of the real deal, I'm the same way. 10 to 30 minutes. Nice. Yeah, I go crazy for hummus, man. That's one of those things, like, now I find a place that sells it. If I go to Costco here, they have hummus. But for a long time, like, before I had a membership there and was aware of that, it's really the only reason I have a Costco membership, to be honest. I was making that myself. It's like not the hardest thing to make, but it is a bit time consuming, a little bit. So it's a testament to how much I like it, I think. It's literally a 10-minute walk away. Could have walked there and ordered. Yeah, but sometimes, you know, just it might as well be 10 hours, right? Just can't be bothered. But it costs 40 NOK. Is it NOK? $3 to $4 USD. Pretty cheap. And okay, Norwegian, is it krona? What is krona? Is that crowns or kroner? Kroner. Okay. I was thinking like a word like that. Is there a currency called the krona? Does it end with an A? Is that Norway specific? Do you share currencies across like Scandinavia at all? That's Swedish. Okay, it kind of crossed my mind. Like, maybe I'm thinking of Swedish. Sometimes I'm just like embarrassingly uneducated about, you know, the intricacies of European life, having never been. And we all have kroner crowns, but specific to each country, like Australian dollars. Got it. Yeah, I was thinking like if you're not on the euro, you probably have your own. Yikes. your own currency, right? I don't think people need to know the specifics of Scandinavian currencies. They don't need to, but when it comes up, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't really know. But I know now. Thank you. And I won't forget. I'll never forget. Krona, kroner. I can remember krona. For ABBA. Sweden. Do you like ABBA? I actually fucking love ABBA. Not even ironically. It's just good shit. I think actually coming from this angle. Love ABBA. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's come at it from here a little bit. A lot of great music from the Nordics. Yeah? Anything else you can recommend? Because I don't, sometimes you get in a situation where like, oh, I didn't know they were from there, you know? But off the top of my head, I don't know that I could, tell you. Anybody else? Nightwish? Are they Finnish? I love Nightwish. You can include Finland. Yeah, well, when we get into metal, then I know we're going Finnish. Aha is Norway. Oh, you know what? I've heard that. I forgot that. Now I remember again. That's right. Gotta be honest though, I only know the one song. I think. Demon Borgier? Yeah. Okay. I didn't know they were from Norwegian, actually. I didn't know they were from Norway. Nightwish is Finnish. Yeah. Big fan of Nightwish. Maybe my favorite. Just so unique. Definitely prefer old Nightwish. I mean, it's all good, but I can't say her name. Is it Tarja? Tarja? The original singer. I preferred that era of Nightwish. But the new stuff's good too. Oh, that's Icelandic, the name. Got it. What languages do you speak? That's the one thing I'm always so impressed by with most Europeans I meet, right? Because us dumb Americans, we only usually know one, maybe two, you know, if we're lucky. The new singer has done amazing covers of the... Yeah, I think, I don't even think it's about her specifically. It's not the vocal range. I think I just liked those songs. I liked the band during that era. I liked the work they were putting out. I think Century Child is the best album. That's my shit. Love Century Child. Once was also very good. I mean, Wishmaster, Century Child, Once, like that's when I first got into them. So those albums, a lot of it might be nostalgia, but really love those albums. That's the best version of Ghost Love Score. Yeah, really. Okay. It's getting progressively harder as I get inkier and inkier. Let's see. Okay. Oof. Okay. Thank you. I can't wait to listen to that, actually. Nice. All right. we're gonna go a little bit longer here. I'd like to at least knock out this top bit, and I'm probably gonna take a dinner break. By dinner break, I mean finish for the night. So I've actually done quite a bit of straight. Like man, it's 3 hours now. Definitely did like 4 hours this morning between Fatal Frame and Parasite Eve. So put in a full day's work today. Enjoyed every moment. I asked you a question. I forgot what it was. How many languages do you speak? Because you were talking about how you recognize, like, oh, that's Icelandic, and I was just curious. Do you speak that? Are you just familiar with that? Just 2? Oh, okay. But, like, is it a situation where you can pick up a decent bit of some of the other neighboring countries' languages? Yeah, I just don't want to do these circles. Yeah, I figured Norwegian and English, right? Fluent in both. I don't know how much difference there is between a lot of like the Scandinavian languages. And those are ones I would really need a teacher to learn, you know? Because like I remember during my study abroad, having a friend from Denmark trying to teach me some of the sounds in the language and just laughing, you know? It was like something she would have us do when we were all drinking, like, see if you can say this word, and just us all fumbling, because, like, my mouth doesn't move that way. I've never tried to make this sound before. That's not going well. Watch that. That's not what I wanted to do at all. I understand a good chunk of several languages, approximate knowledge of many languages. No real understanding though, just picking up words here and there. Got it. Yeah. That's mostly where my Chinese is now. Like I just haven't used it for so long. Like I get a couple phrases and here and there. Understand certain things. Only under the best conditions, like someone speaking slowly in a like a Beijing dialect. Or I guess you would call it dialect. The accent. You know. Way back in the back of the mouth, a lot of hard R's. Like linguistics, seeing where the different languages connect, what words are the same. Yeah, definitely, I'm the same way. So interesting. Swedish and Danish, but they don't count. Yeah? Why is that? How much similarity is there? See, I botched that because we have some like dimensionality here to this one. I don't have anything on this knob. Gotta fix that. We kind of took this out too far. Now we don't have the clearance for it. I guess that's fine. Okay. For this next one. Let's come at it upside down. All 3 languages are very similar. Spoken Swedish is very easy. Danish is weird, but very similar if you can understand the words they're saying. Okay. Oh no. Got a blotch. Actually, I wanted to come in a little more like that. I guess that's fine. If you can read Norwegian, you can read Danish, probably Swedish. If you can speak Norwegian, you can understand Swedish, but maybe not Danish. Interesting. So it's just the pronunciation then. It's like if you can read it, but then you can't understand it spoken aloud. So like the words are largely the same, but they just pronounce them differently. So I know that's the thing in like Chinese, right? Like, oh, we're using the same language, and like, oh, if someone from this province were to write something, I could probably read it, but like I cannot understand what they're saying. But they are speaking the language that I'm studying, you know? Danes sound like they have a potato in their throat. There is a very popular sketch where Danes are trying to speak with each other, but the language has become so silly and nonsensical that they can't understand each other. Really? Is that sketch, where did that originate? Is that a Danish sketch? Are they like making fun of themselves, or does that come from another country in the area? I think come at it from here. Yeah, I was about to ask, like, can you link that to me? Oh man. All right, here we go. Okay. It's Norwegian making fun of Danes, but Danish people like the sketch. Nice. It's good when you can have some some humor about yourselves, right? I think it's hilarious, like, when we get ridiculed, by other, like, English-speaking sketch shows specifically, because, like, then you can kind of, like, really play with the subtleties, right, of the language and our accent or our mannerisms or whatever. All right, now with this area, this is going to be tricky because I probably shouldn't do it now. I say as I start to do it. It's in joke, Danish and English, so you should be able to understand the sketch, what they're saying at least, maybe not the cultural context. Okay, nice. Well, I'll just have to ask you next time if I didn't understand something. Maybe you can fill me in. Alright, well, we gotta at least do this power button here. Get that knocked out. Finish this terminal. Yikes. Ooh, no. Messed that up. A little more rounded there. That kind of cuts in. Well, once again, we're just going to come back through and grody it up with all kinds of just random dry brush strokes on the back end of this. Make everything feel kind of lived in and dirty and chipped. We're going to just make up for all of our failings at that moment. Food is almost here. I'm heading down the street to meet the delivery guy. Right on. I'm excited for you. Looks good. Almost that time for me too. Almost. Whoa. Have a nice walk. Maybe a little too dry on that. Okay. What are we doing next? Maybe doing... Oof, man. I have to wash these hands again. Yeah, maybe knock this out and then do the bottom area. Let's do that. Which actually, yeah. I think a little bolder than I wanted. As usual. Let's take this line down. One more, and then we got this monitor. We're ready to go. So actually, this is like an external contour here, so actually that should be a little bolder. There we go. Oh, that was a mistake. All right, fix it later. Fix it now? I could probably fix it now. Just taper it down. We got another circle. My weakest area. Let's get it very carefully. Circles with the brush are tricky. Very tricky. Although, that's the best it's gone thus far. It's messy, but it's a circle, so that's progress. I can't get it with a fine line. It's gonna be like rough. You have returned with food. Welcome back. How does it look? ordered 2 things. Kebab meal with fries and then extra fries. Oh, man. My mouth is watering. I'm really getting hungry. I can't hold on for much longer. The bag is huge and heavy. That sounds good. I'm doing Japanese nabe tonight, like a hot pot. So I got some goodies coming too. We're gonna do some tofu, what else we got? Daikon, Japanese radish. Got some chicken. Got a lemon-based broth. Gonna do some noodles. Cabbage. Looking forward to that. Definitely wouldn't mind having a kebab on the side. Nice gyro. But next time. Plan is to eat the fries and some kebab now. Then the rest goes into the fridge for dinner. Cold fries are not great. Kebab is good no matter what. That's true, but you can heat up the fries, right? You don't have to do it that way, but you're right. Fries are one of those things, right? There's a window on fries. The better the fry, the larger the window is, but it's never large. How do I want to go about this? But yeah, kebab is good anytime. In any temperature. Got a pita bread for free. Nice. Sounds good too. I have some hummus in the fridge, but the only thing I really have to go with it right now are carrots, you know? Just cut up some carrots and eat it that way. But man, having a good pita, that's what I really need. Nothing on hand at the moment. And I had my tub of hummus for the day. I have to pace myself. They're like single portion tubs. That's the only way they sell it. But I could just go through like several of those in a single day. I have to watch myself. Like, future you will be very displeased if you go through these too quickly, because it's a hike over there and it's kind of pricey. It's like almost like 3,000 yen usually for the box. Okay. Let's do these, let's knock out the base of this here and then do these wires so I'm not dragging my hand through the ink. Is it expensive where you live? I know Japan can be expensive, but Tokyo is obviously going to be different from more rural areas. Yeah, it's just a matter of like getting accustomed to like Japanese life and getting used to eating like locally sourced stuff. And when you do that, and since I'm in a rural area, like a rural prefecture, there's a lot of cheap produce. Surprisingly cheap. But then it's also a situation like, okay, it's cheap if like you want to eat the stuff that's locally grown, but then like right now it's just at the supermarket and like a head of broccoli was like 350 yen. Like, am I about to spend like like almost $3 for a single head of broccoli. We're not eating broccoli this week. So certain things got to get imported if they're not in season. Just like certain things in America, you take for granted them always being there for like relatively cheap, and just getting reaccustomed. Like, oh, if I want to eat that stuff, it's very expensive. If I get used to just going without or just getting it when it's on sale or whatever, okay. So yeah, Tokyo is pretty pricey just for everything. Around here, it just depends. But what's very cheap is the fish, right? I'm pretty close to a port, so we get a lot of good seafood. For good prices. And some things, like, it blew my mind the first time I went to the conveyor belt sushi. It's like, back then, it was like 100 yen a plate. It's steadily ticked up the last 6 years. Now it's 120 yen. Like, you're giving me 2 pieces of like inari here for less than $1, and it's good. It's like better than most like expensive restaurants, at least in my home state in America. Like, this is, I can't believe this. I died and went to heaven. This is unbelievable. So, and it's still cheap. Like 120 yen is not bad. In Norway, more than 3/4 of the population live within about 16 kilometers of the sea. Interesting. Japan is probably the same. Yeah, I imagine it would be. Probably it would be like 3/4 of the population live in Tokyo. Because I mean the country is just mountains jutting up out of the sea. So it's just like everyone settled down the valleys and then condensed into these cities. And then you get into the rural areas, and it's pretty rural. Yeah, how's Norway in terms of prices? 74% live in urban areas. Probably the numbers don't change too radically, like the proportion between like most countries, I want to say though, right? Like most of the population is in an urban area in probably most places that have substantial developed urban areas. Pretty expensive. Yeah, I think we were talking about it a little bit previously. Okay. These keys, I'm not crazy about these keys. I feel like there's some perspective issues there. I wonder if I should correct that before I ink it. I've kind of gone too far actually with this. How much farther do I want to go here? If you take the average amount an American pays in health insurance every month, we often pay less total depending on state. I'm sure. And that's, for us just to not get sick. Once you get sick, that's when the real cost sets in. That's for just us having theoretical coverage. Yeah, it's the thing I can never go back from after being here. It's a pretty nice healthcare system. I mean, it's all nice usually compared to what I'm used to. It's like we have a great system, but you gotta have money to utilize it. If you don't have the money, it ain't so great. Person making $100,000 in most of the U.S. is paying more total than Norwegians. Doesn't surprise me. And we actually have complete health coverage no matter how much you make, physical and mental health. That's something we have nothing on. The mental health situation is bad. That's nice y'all have that. That's important. It's an overlooked aspect of health. I mean, it's getting better, I guess. People are more aware of it, at least, than they used to be. And whether or not it's going to result in putting resources to it. In America, unlikely, but maybe put like a highlight through here to differentiate these two wires. I think that's maybe what I want to do there. So let's do that. Maybe we'll do these wires and finish there. I'm trying to get to a place where I could like foresee waking up tomorrow morning and getting this done in about 2 hours at the most. Because I'd like to finish it tomorrow to technically have it done on day 1 of Inktober. And then maybe draw something else this week and ink that. Maybe keep it at 1 a week. Not dental though, sadly. That's apparently not part of the body. Yeah, apparently. We like to just keep that in its own compartment over there. Why? Because we can. I think things are moving in the right direction. Look at all the strikes in the U.S. right now and all the industries talking about striking or unionizing. People are fed up and finally fighting for change. Yeah, labor in our country, it's been a rough go, right? It got disciplined pretty good there for a while and kind of retreated back. So there's some good things. A lot of strikes in recent years. It's great to see. I was sad to not take part in the teacher strikes. Those were kicking off really when I was over here. I had some friends contributing, but also the state I had been in was a right to work state. So we didn't have teachers unions anyway. We were all at will employees. And I worked for a charter, so there was just no collective action to speak of. A lot of places, they made it pretty much impossible. Oh, did I? I didn't want to end that so quickly, I don't think. Do you have a lot of labor action in... It is such a scam. It's horseshit. I was asking if they have a lot of labor action in Norway, but did they, what was I about to say? I was combining, I was I want to finish my question to you, and then I was also having a thought. Oh, they couch in a lot of language, this is what's best for the kids. You can't have a subpar teacher impacting the lives of these children. I mean, that's true. That's the thing. They always make a good point. It's yeah, you don't want someone ineffective in front of kids being tasked with the responsibility of guiding them, guiding their futures. You know, it's yes, but at the expense of what? Us having no worker protections collectively, just as a whole profession. There must be some way to get around this, right? Compromise. I don't think I pulled this highlight off. I think I should have had it continue it through this bend in the wire. Yeah. Unless I kind of tried to, I don't know, play it there's lights coming from a different monitor maybe? I don't know. Let's just see. Can we make that work? Oh no. It's in Norway, disability pension is set so that You should pay to work. I'm not gonna embarrass myself. Did Scout? See, I don't know. I don't even know like the phonetic rule for some of those characters. So disabled people like you get less money than they should to encourage them to get a job. They frame it as a positive, like right to work, but it's just bullshit. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know if that was the situation for you as well. They think they can get something out of you. Damn, they're gonna try. I don't think I like that. Man, if I would have had that continue, that would have been pretty nice, actually. That would have really described the form of this wire, I think. I wonder if it's not rounded here? Imagine a world where that's better, but it's not the worst thing I've done. Maybe. I don't know, actually. I don't like that. Maybe if I trim this down a little bit, made it like a sliver. There's something weird happening here. It's not really making sense. Maybe that's a little better. It's insane that disabled people who can't work are told to work. I'm 100% disabled. The most I could do is a 10 to 15% position where I don't work on specific days, since it's impossible for me to know in advance what a day is going to be like. Like, I would have to be able to show up whenever I feel like it, which is impossible in pretty much all workplaces. Yeah, that's the thing, right? They want to put a number on anything. I don't like so many of these disabilities are like kind of in flux, right? Like you're saying, like you don't know how your day is going to be. You don't know if like how capable you're going to be on a given day. But like most places, like no, they're going to have your schedule ready like weeks in advance. Like, oh, you're working on Thursday. Like, what if Thursday's not a good day? What then? You know? I could work today. I could not have worked yesterday. Anything more than a couple of hours straight is impossible. Yeah, so like, what do they expect you to do? Like, what would they want you to be doing? Do they have like specific suggestions, like of work they would think is feasible for you? Or is it just like, figure it out? This is the standard. Figure something out for yourself. They expect me to survive on the bare minimum until I die of old age. And the bare minimum will decrease when I reach retirement age and I go from disability pension to normal pension. In the world we're all heading into, man. I don't even think I don't see myself getting a pension period. Or like much of anything. I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I try not to even think about it. I have no idea. I have like nothing set up for that period of my life. It's not looking too good either. In the US, like, you know, no national pension. Here in Japan, like, it's already not sustainable, at least the way they're working it. fucked up thing is that Norway is good. Like, what I'm describing is generally great compared to most of the world. Yeah, that's true, but it's all relative, right? You can only speak from your own experience, I've found. Like, you can always find some place that's worse, and you would, like, it reminds you to be thankful maybe what you have, but then it's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean relative to your position and what you deserve as a human being, you know? That doesn't change that. I like the form on this highlight. I think it's a little too wide. We need to rein that in a little bit. Too much white here, maybe. It's a little bit better. Also, like, doesn't quite make sense. Like, I like how it looks, but like, the fact that there's so much light reflecting off of this wire here, when really, like, it should be more like back this way, that it's facing the lit up monitors. I have it good. I'm able to gift subs every month. Order food if I feel like it. Buy new games. Yeah, you are so generous with your subs. I'm so, like, seriously, I know I said it before. When you gifted those, I hit this new tier I never thought I would hit, where I can, like, get another emote. It was, like, so nice. So, I mean, thank you. You made that happen. I haven't made the emote yet. And actually, I just finally unlocked follower emotes. So I shifted 5 emotes over to the follower tier. I can finally do that. I hit my 60 streams. So now my subscriber tier is just nice and empty. I gotta get on that. There are people in the US working full-time who earn less than the absolute minimum here. That's very true. Here you are supposed to have around $800 US left after paying rent and power bill. Oh, yeah. They don't even consider that for us. Just like, this is the minimum. This is what you get. What if that doesn't pay for it? It's what you get. Figure it out. Get another job. Oh man, I just inked my... Okay, that's fine. That doesn't work. Get 3 jobs. How about that? If you have less than the government, makes up the difference. Social welfare. Yeah. Is this a place to maybe end it for today? Maybe once we get this like ribbon in here. Might be time to get dinner going here. Oops. 'Cause then I could do this keyboard here. Get this. I could knock that out tomorrow morning and come back for some texturing. I'd like to do like some gradients, like do some grays and all that. I'm not. That's definitely not going to go well because I don't really know. I haven't had much experience with that. But it might be worth trying. I live in municipal housing and have around $1,300 US left after paying all my bills. And it's nice that it's that affordable, at the very least. Like, I don't know that I've ever had that. I have it sort of. No, I don't have it now. I would theoretically have it now if I didn't have student loans that I'm still paying. I did not have that in the US. Nowhere close. Okay. Let's plug in this ribbon, and I think might be time to hit the old dusty trail for today. We'll be back tomorrow. Do a little more inking. And then probably games the rest of the week. Wednesday and Thursday at least. The streaming days. Although, I didn't do any podcast editing today, so I'm behind on that, so I might have to take priority. We'll see how fast it goes. That can be a long process, depending. Let's have these come down off the... Norway's more expensive, but things like subs on Twitch and even games are rarely scaled properly to our spending power. A $5 sub is a lot cheaper for me than for many Americans. Yeah, I didn't think about that, right. Okay. I feel pretty good about leaving it there for today. We're gonna come back and keep working on this gal tomorrow. This android dreaming of electric sheep. Finish up the contour inking, do a little bit of texturing. Maybe if we have time, do some like gray gradients. Well, thank you. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you keeping me company. My first time doing an art stream, so I didn't know how it would go. I don't think anyone new came by, but it was fun seeing some, it's all for you folks, really, the followers. And hopefully making something that you enjoyed watching. Spending your dining time, your kebab time. Enjoyed it nice and chill? I appreciate that. That's what I was going for. Do a little bit more about, probably about 10, 11 hours from now. No, that's not right. Math. Like 13 hours from now. Yeah. See if we can finish this up. Until then, thanks again. I've eaten less than 1/3 of the food and I'm full. Yeah, that's the best, right? Like, you feel sated, but like, oh, and there's leftovers for later. Hell yeah. Oof, nice and inked. All right. Inktober day 1. Almost done. Until then, thank you again. Everyone be well. See you next time. No raid. I can barely ink my... Get these inky fingers on this mouse, says this. All right, be well. See you later, buddy.